but it's not going to be easy because all three of their opponents that are still ahead are formidable. Even Fayetteville State, and we know the last week that they lost to Livingstone, but they're still Fayetteville State, and they've still got Coach Hayes. So, and if there's anything that we've learned in this era of WSSU football is that we can't take anything for granted anymore. It used to be a time where we could just roll out any team. We could roll out any guys in red and white and black and beat Livingstone and beat Johnson C. Smith. That was the case for a long time, but it is not anymore. And so speaking of Livingstone, that's who our opponent is for this week. And they come into the season, they have the exact same record that we do. They are 5-2 overall. They are 3-1 in the CIAA. Their lone loss was to Bowie State. And so let's look at their record. Let's look at who they played, right? So they started off the season against Concord. That was a team that is really good. They are undefeated right now. And they did not look like they were in the same league as that team. I saw them that week, and I was like, oh, maybe they took a step back. After that, they began. They played VUL, the punching bag for the D1 teams, and they played. They did for a D2 team playing against them. They did pretty solid against them. Then they held on for a win against Allen. Then they went up to Bowie and got beat by the same Bowie team that we beat pretty easily in Winston, but they were in Bowie. Then they went up to Lincoln, and hey, give them credit. They won the game. We didn't win last year. Now they have relapsed and regressed, but they got the win. And then they came back home to play Elizabeth City State. They took care of business against them. Never pretty, but they're finding ways to win. And then last week, they took down Fayetteville State for the first time since 2015, I believe it was, and only the second time this century, right? So this is so they're feeling good about themselves. They're 5-2. They have not played the level of competition we have. Their 5-2 is not our 5-2.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Let's just be clear about that. They haven't played a Division I program. They haven't played a Virginia Union. They haven't even played a Virginia State. Again, we have one team that we played that they have played, and we beat that team decidedly at home. So, again, the record is nice. They have 5 wins. 5 wins for them, I believe. If they were to win 6, that might be their best season again in this century. They have some talented players. Muhammad Maninga, I'll try to get the pronunciation correct. He has 575 yards, and he's averaging 95 yards a game. They are scoring 20 points a game, but they're giving up more points than they score. Defensively, they have 20 sacks on the season, and they have 11 interceptions. Now, we have not given up a lot of sacks all season, but we did suffer an offensive line injury. Our starting tackle was injured, and he's probably not going to be available, so they're going to have to do some moving around. John Dell wrote the article on that. Go check that out. If we can keep Dalen Lee upright, we should be good. Right now, we're averaging just under 24 points a game, and our opponents are averaging 16 a game. Trevon Hester, again, he's second in the CIAA in rushing yards, and he's got a good chance. He's got 638. He's got a good chance to get to 1,000 yards, and it's been quite a while since we had a 1,000-yard rusher. We're only allowing less than 17 points a game. We have 9 interceptions and 12 sacks, and Justin Fleming obviously has just been kind of the guy. So some of the key matchups to watch. They're going to try to run against us. Muhammad is a big kid. He's like 6'2", 250. Like, he's for real a big kid. And obviously we got a pretty good back as well, Trevon Hester. And their run defense has been rather suspect. So, we can both run, but I think the difference is going to be our passing game. I think if Dalen Lee can go out there, get some protection, and spread the ball around to his receivers, I think WSSU is a better team this year. And, I think when you look at Livingstone, historically, we have owned this matchup, right? So we started playing them, a little bit of history about this. We started playing them our first season of football back in 1940. Now, they beat us that game 12-7. But since then, we have dominated this matchup. We are 47-14-1. That means we have 47 wins. They have 14 wins. And so we have dominated this series. But the last 2 years, they have beaten us. Now, they did not beat us from 1999 all the way until 2022. And that was the first time we had to go to that blue turf that they've got over there. You know, it's a thing. So it's going to be interesting. Livingstone, they're going to be feeling all the confidence in the world. They feel like they just took down Fayetteville State, even though Fayetteville State is not the Fayetteville State of a couple years ago. They still feel like they took them down. They feel like they're 5-2. And, you know, we're always their measuring stick. Let's just be real. Let's just be clear. Let's be honest. We're always their measuring stick. You know, they have turned it into a rivalry in basketball. And again, when you beat a team for almost 30 years, it doesn't feel like a rivalry in football. But last couple years, they've beaten Winston-Salem State. And so for WSSU, this is a chance to do what I like to call restoring order, right? Just the natural order of things. And so, but that's going to be tough. Their coaching staff, hats off to them. Sean Gilbert, he's their head coach. He's a former NFL player, former defensive tackle, and first round NFL draft pick. He's no joke. He's got that program, up on the up and up. But at the end of the day, we're still Winston-Salem State, right? And this is a game that we absolutely need. We absolutely have to have this game. We win this game, we have a matchup with Johnson C. Smith. Now, Johnson C. Smith is currently 6-0 in the CIAA. They're currently 6-0. They're undefeated in the CIAA, both them and Virginia Union. We already had our shot at Union, and we missed. So they have the tiebreaker over us. And remember, there is no North and South champions this year. It's just the top two records. And so they already have a tiebreaker over us. This is our, so we got to beat Livingstone to continue with our record, to improve to 4-1 in CIAA play, and set up a matchup against Johnson C. Smith that would give us control of the race. So there's a lot riding on it. But, you got to take it 1 week at a time. If there's nothing else that we've learned over these last couple of years, again, there used to be a time where we could just roll out the balls and we could beat Livingstone, Johnson C. Smith. That's no longer the case, but I do think that we are a better team. We're a more talented team. I think the biggest thing, are we going to be the most disciplined team? Robert Massey, head coach at WSSU, talked about how this is going to be a chippy game. And we've seen the Rams maintain their composure at times and not maintain their composure at times. And that's going to be key in this game. If they can limit the knucklehead penalties, if they can keep themselves contained, they have the talent. They should win this game. I think they should win it by 2 touchdowns. But, again, this is Livingstone. They view this as a rivalry game. And they're going to come out and give their best. So really looking forward to the game. Let me know in the comments what you thought about last week's win. Give me your score prediction for this week. Talk to me in the comments a little bit. That helps the channel out, and it's just good dialogue. I appreciate everybody who does listen and give their insights. And we're going to continue to roll this out, guys. Again, we're a couple weeks away from homecoming. A lot of excitement around. I'm excited about it. Also, of course, it is voting season, so I'd be amiss if I didn't tell you guys to vote. I know I'm going to be voting soon, so I hope you guys are doing the same thing as well. Also, want to give a shout out to the men's and women's basketball teams as they're starting to practice. Their season will kick off right around homecoming, unfortunately for them. And before we close, I did want to give my condolences to the WSSU family for the passing of Stinson Conley. He is a former WSSU basketball star, helped Big House Games win its final CIAA championship, and then he has been a coach and a professor at WSSU for 30 plus years from what I understand. So our thoughts and prayers are with him. He is a Ram who continued to give. And, one of the folks, when we say Ramily, that, he embodies that. So our thoughts and prayers again out with his family and anyone that was touched by his service to WSSU. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys, again, go to the Amazon page. Check out some merch. And anything you guys buy, let me know what you picked up. Let me know what you like, and we can compare notes. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one. Peace.